I'm proving to everybody that I back up what I say. I wasn't just taking part in the new NWA, I'm taking the lead.
Of the NWA. I love Nick Aldis.
I'm not sure Nick Aldis loves Tommy Dreamer.
No, I know.
Tommy Dreamer is not going to make history. Tommy Dreamer is history.
You know, he's always pushing those buttons. I remember like it was yesterday, man. I was sitting in TNA, and they were on the fence with him. And
you create situations that happened in the past, and then you slowly change them and tweak them, and everyone just accepts them as reality. But the reality is that you're a liar. All I care about is exposing you for the second-rate, fake, phony piece of that you are.
It's the ingredients of every good story. Antagonist versus protagonist. It's about men with diametrically opposed opinions. For Tommy Dreamer and Nick Aldis, the war of words started a long time ago.
Thank you, sir.
Pine Bluff, right?
Pine Bluff.
my slogan, no politics, no BS, just wrestling. The dynamic between me and Billy works. When Billy presented this opportunity to me, I jumped on it. They were just starting to know who Tim Storm was, and it was just like, hey man, anytime you want a shot at this. And it was like, cool. And then, of course, Nick Aldis being Nick Aldis, he comes in and kind of ruined a lovely little moment.
I find it very ironic that his tagline is no politics, no BS, just wrestling. He invites Tim Storm as the NWA champion so that then he can somehow slip in that he wants a world's title shot. That sounds like politics to me.
So many wrestlers were like, dude, that's so cool. Billy Corgan, gave you a title shot.
Tommy Dreamer, the wrestler, has a lot of pride and still wants to go out there and perform to his greatest ability. I know I'm not going to be the WWE champion. I know I'm not going to win the Royal Rumble, and I don't care about that. I care about the NWA title. Through wrestling magazines and Dusty Rhodes being on the cover with the NWA belt, or Harley Race or Ric Flair, that was my ultimate goal from when I was 10 years old.
I've had more people text message me, DM me like, hey man, I hope you win this NWA title, because it means the world to me, but as a wrestling fan, it means something to everyone.
Tommy Dreamer's lifelong drive to be the NWA champion makes him the protagonist in his journey.
So that is my lineage where I could say, hey, I'm a piece of that history. And that title meant, and still what Billy's the best is holding it. Cody Rhodes, he said, please win that NWA title. And I said, only if I get to wrestle you first. And he said, done. Stuff like that means everything.
Tommy is desperate for people to like him. He's desperate for attention. He's desperate for affirmation.
My life has been forever changed because of wrestling. Everything I have in my life is because of wrestling. And you can link it from, if you go my moments, ECW, NWA.
Tommy Dreamer came along at a time where all you needed was to do things slightly outrageous, a couple of decent moves, and to do some cheap stuff to get the people behind you when it was all about, booze and breasts and everything else.
Again, Nick Aldis picking his spot, cool. That's that cocky chip on his shoulder. But hey man, you want to be the best in the world, you want to represent a company, I've already done that, and I will continue to do that. You want to have the hot wife and the beautiful kid, I do that too. So every place where you lived, I've lived too. But don't be disrespectful about it, because once you become disrespectful, that's a whole other issue.
Nick Aldis' disrespect makes him the antagonist in Dreamer's tale.
And now you're buddying up to Billy Corgan thinking that that's the way that things are done. But it's not the way things are done in the NWA. People are rewarded based on merit in the NWA, so a 47-year-old, out-of-shape, ham sandwich, former hardcore wrestler ain't gonna get the job done.
Nick Aldis is the protagonist of his own story. The Aldis Crusade is his way of taking the lead on the NWA.
And the Aldis Crusade is all about restoring the tradition of the traveling champion going coast to coast and across the continents into hostile territories against opponents who seemingly have every advantage in the world, and somehow they all fall. And that's what makes you a real world champion.
Tommy Dreamer is his antagonist.
Tommy, it's been fun up till now. It's even been cute. But now it's time to get serious. And the fact of the matter is, when you talk about taking this away from me, it gets serious. It gets personal. It's been personal with you and me ever since you went on the radio and told bold-faced lies about what you did for me and my career.
I remember like it was yesterday, man. We were sitting in TNA, and they were on the fence with him. And I actually had those meetings were brutal before television, and they were, we don't know about this kid. And I liked him. I always saw potential in him. And me and Devon went out there, and we busted our butts for him. And I told him, hey, this is what they're saying about you. You're going to lose your job. The next day in the meeting, hey, this is someone we should really, really look after. And, it was also because me and Devon we had it was an explosion match. And then I went and told him, and then instead of saying, like, thank you to us, it was like, well, they should have done that in the first place. And right then and there, right. I was just like, whoa, sounds about right. Okay, and so...
Tommy Dreamer is not going to make history. Tommy Dreamer is history. Because the problem with you, Tommy, is you live in a false reality. You create situations that happened in the past, and then you slowly change them and tweak them, and everyone just accepts them as reality. But the reality is that you're a liar. I don't care whether you're friends with Billy. I don't care whether he feels like he owes you some kind of debt because of stuff in the past. But just in case, Austin Idol is coming to Philadelphia because we don't trust you. I don't trust you. I've never trusted you. All I care about is exposing you for the second-rate, fake, phony piece of shit that you are. And in Philadelphia, in your home turf, it will be done. And the oldest crusade will roll on. And you will be left in the past where you belong.
At the corner of Swanson and Rittner, where the 10 pounds of gold has already seen such history, the future of two men, the protagonist and antagonist, are the only ones in control of the story.